Hi, I'm Charles with Powertrix Coilovers and Suspension Works, and I'm here at one of our premier parts and installation facilities, Specialty Z. These are our strut tower bars for the Nissan 300zx Z32. The first one we have here is our polished version of the front strut tower brace. One of the major features of this is, as you can see, is it's a one piece, so it does not bolt, it does not swivel, because those are weak points in the actual chassis, and no matter how tight you get them, that area tends to flex. Another real nice thing that you can see is they're all TIG welded together to be that one piece. And then the one major feature that you do not see within the bar is this is a tube, but inside the tube it has 3 different bulkheads that support and make this a more rigid strut tower brace component. With that strut tower, it comes with, we also give you the tips and tricks installations with some pictures and hardware, new hardware that will mount to the car itself. Well, in conjunction with our front strut tower bar, we also have our rear strut tower bar. Now, in my personal opinion, this is where you're going to see the most night and day difference in chassis stability. The chassis flexes a lot. And the biggest point of this particular bar is that it is one piece. Again, it isn't a bolt-on 3-piece swivel where you'll get a lot of motion regardless of how much you tighten it together. And also what we did with the bar, instead of it being a flat bar, is we made it a round bar, so that way in any different direction of forces, we're kind of mocking what a roll bar or roll cage would do as far as its chassis stiffness, basically. Also TIG welded very nicely, and we also give you 2 different options. If you like the flashy polished look, or if you want non-invasive, we do also offer a powder coated version of the bar itself. One of the things that we do also include with the bar that unfortunately no other company does is, for the Z32, we offer this custom template and beauty molding, so that way you can customize the interior paneling to make it look as factory and clean as possible in your Z32. These will also fit any Z32 coupe and 2+2. So another key feature about the strut tower bars, not only they being very structural and adding structurability to the vehicle, is they are made out of aluminum, and their lightness, basically. They basically weigh roughly about 16 to about 19 ounces themselves. Very extremely light. So who doesn't like titanium, right? They're lightweight, they're strong, they're structural, so on and so forth. These were kind of spawned from our racing series from Nissan Challenge, because the guys are constantly removing and putting on lug nuts, and a lot of you guys who like to use those real expensive lug nuts that are aluminum, you see all these aluminum shavings, so on and so forth, and that equates to less structurability and less grab on the threads. So that's why with our new product line launch, this is our first product with the PTX series, which is kind of our premium product line. So currently right now, this is the first product. We also are doing custom valving underneath the PTX line with our coilovers for any type of application with our ultralight series, but basically PTX is our infinity to our Nissan, basically. For each production run, each bar goes through a mil-spec test, and we display that mil-spec test on our website. That bar goes through a mil-spec test to ensure that all titanium that we use for our lug nuts is the GR5 rated. The titanium lug nuts can be purchased in this finish, which is very popular, our burnt finish, which looks great. However, for the racers and the guys that are going to be removing and putting them back on and off, we recommend the raw finish. That also can be seen on our website as well. These, along with our strut tower bars, can be acquired along with all of our product line at Specialty Z. Charles with Powertrix Coilovers and Suspension Works, and I'm here with Sebastian at Specialty Z. We're picking up, which is now affectionately known as 2022 King of Kaiju R35 GTR. We brought it here to do a fine tune on the already tuned by Specialty Z. Its base tune was not as good as it should have been because we did some changes with the way the car breathes. I'll let Seb actually explain that in a moment. I would like to thank Specialty Z because they have actually helped us out a lot in the last couple of years. I believe our relationship probably goes a good 20 plus years, dating all the way back through all the Z32s that we've raced before in the past. Now they take care of tune and maintenance our R35. They've helped us the past 2 years take championships in the Nissan Challenge in 2001 and 2002. We're currently in the points lead right now for 2003. The tune was to get this car, not necessarily to have massive horsepower because the car itself was designed and to be a street car. So this is not a race car. It is registered, it is smogged, it has full interior, it has all your basic bolt-ons, and this car was designed with its, kind of like limitations, so that way anyone could mock this by just basically bolting it on, showing what we could do with tuning the suspension and tuning the stock engine with stock turbos on this particular vehicle itself. So this is not a race car. It is registered, it is smogged, it has full interior, it has all your basic bolt-ons, and this car was designed with its, kind of like limitations, so that way anyone could mock this by just basically bolting it on, showing what we could do with tuning the suspension and tuning the stock engine with stock turbos on this particular vehicle itself. So,
yeah, so as Charles mentioned, this is a 2014 GTR. This is Charles's second GTR that we've set up for him. This one he's really been campaigning really well. It's got all his suspension bits on it. We brought the car in 2 years ago, and it had its basic set of modifications. Charles has gone ahead and changed a few things. It's got recirculation valves back in it. It had BOVs, but we felt that the recircs is a really good choice to get the air back into the inlet, so we've retuned it for that change along with a couple other little things. And it's been 2 years since we've done the original tune, so because this car really is race driven, it's always a good idea to double check to make sure all the parameters are good. So we actually found that one of the O2 sensors wasn't up to snuff. It had seen a bunch of abuse, so in the tune, while we're data logging all that, we can see that. So we've gone ahead, done a little bit of maintenance while it's here. So besides doing the fluids and checking the tune, just making sure that the power is there, optimizing anything we can out of it, and of course ensuring the reliability of it to make sure he doesn't have any issues. So racing, of course, is very hard. Road racing especially, you're out there punishing it for quite a long time on the track. So we always want to make sure that fueling, everything is where it needs to be so that you don't have any troubles at the track and maintain the longevity of the vehicle as well, particularly the engine, the transmission, and all the components associated with all that stuff. So the car does really well. Charles mentioned it won King of Kaiju last year in 2022. So back when I was 19, 20 years old, just about. So we have a long history. Started off with the Z32s. So Charles really filled in a nice little gap there, providing suspension components, and really helped us a lot with bringing us parts, especially from San Diego, where Charles is from. So it was really, it's been really nice to know Charles. He's not only is he client, customer, he's a very good friend.
Yeah, it's definitely a win-win scenario. One of the biggest things that I wanted to touch on is the reason why I brought Seb the car to tune is because A, the trust and the long history, but also because he's actually understands what I want in the tune. I'm not going for a dyno queen tune. I need the power at certain points, and I need usable power. And Seb and Specialty Z and the team here basically understands and knows how to get everything out of it and get it out of it safely. So that's a major thing. It's the only company that I'll take any of our cars to tune.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Charles. And we do the basic maintenance on it too. So making sure everything is where it needs to be in terms of there's no oil leaks. If we need to do repairing the axles or anything like that, we'll take care of all that stuff for Charles. Charles does all the suspension work on this thing, and he's got this thing set up really, really nicely. So, besides this car, he's also got a bunch of other customer cars in the Nissan Challenge with his suspension components, his coilovers, and his arms that are breaking records as far as track times go out there at the Nissan Challenge. So check those guys out. A lot of Z cars, 370s, 350s, and even some 300zx's as well.
Thanks, Seb. I really appreciate you taking care of her for me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hopefully we can bring Powertrix and Specialty Z another championship this year.